What's poppin'? It's Mello, back at you with another video. No, I'm not noob say about off Mortal Kombat, but today we're making a Pooh Shiesty type beat. I'm gonna give you some keys as far as making Pooh Shiesty type beats on what's really gonna make it hit and things like that. But before we get into it, what I need you to do is put a like on the video, help your boy out. Let's get into it. I showed you how to make scale helpers in the scales video, but now I've made my own scale helpers, so you can download these for free at mellodeebeatz.com. You want the tempo to be anything from 140 to 154. With Pooh Shiesty type beats, C minor to D sharp minor are some of the best scales and some of the most used scales within this type of beats. I'm going to take this C sharp minor, I'm going to put it in between this. Boom, I have a whole scale laid out. Now, before I open Keyscape, you know I got the Keyscape. Let's make the melody. We're going to go down to the C4 octave. The first note is going to be the root note. We're going to stretch that out to right here, this specific spot, and we're going to go down 2 notes in the scale. Let's listen to that. Now, that sounds like Day One, the song that he has. But if you listen to a lot of his other songs like Neighbors and stuff like that, it follows not only the same pattern, but the same progression. A 1/6 progression as far as the bass notes. So it's very common. That's why we're using it for this. We're going to highlight this and loop it out. The next thing we're going to do is go to the C5 octave. Now all the notes for the melody that we're about to make, I want them to be this length right here. And this is how we're going to lay it out before we even listen to it. We're going to start at the root again in the C5 octave. That's a whole octave up. We're going to go up 1. And then you just go up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's listen to that very quickly. That's how a lot of his melodies are. So what we're going to do, instead of just going with that, we're going to do some variation. So I'm going to change some of these notes and add some notes in to make it a little bit different so that it's not so cookie cutter. So we're going to leave this all the same. And that's what we're going to go with for that. Now, we're going to go up another octave. We're not going to start on the root again, but we are going to drag out the length of the notes to half a measure. Now, if you remember, a chord goes like this. You know, you start at the root. You go up 2 notes. That will be the 3rd. You go up 2 more notes. That will be the 5th. What we're going to do, we're going to start this on G sharp. That will be where the 5th is. And then we're just going to find other notes that feel good with that same type of rhythm. So let's go. So with that, we have a basic loop. I have an idea in mind, and we're going to skip to doing variations. So being that all the notes I have are all hitting the end of the second measure, I'm just going to hold Control and B. Is going to duplicate all of that. So what I'm going to do now is do some variation, but the way this note hits right here, I want that to be the end of the loop. So I'm going to change some things in this first part. Now what you can do is take these bass notes, push them down an extra octave. If you want to get really dirty, you can push them down 2 octaves. We're not getting that dirty. We keeping it at C4 because I want to leave room for the 808. We're going to Control B again. It's going to be another loop of the melody. We have our piano melody now, but let's humanize it. So what I'm going to do is select all the top notes, and we're going to randomize those. So I'm going to go to the randomize feature. We got the bipolar on, but we're going to take that off and then push some of it lower. Now, I'm going to accept that. All of that's going to be good, but what I'm going to do is control these notes because I want these notes hitting a certain way, so I'm going to have those all at the same volume. Kind of under the melody, but not too low. The next instrument we have is a set of violins. We're not only going to follow the root note, we're going to take this note right here, hold that, and then let's try that note right there, and let's bring them down, bring this up, and let's see if that works. Let's move this back. You see, that works so easy. And the reason it works so easy is because we're matching notes that we're already using. We don't even got to really randomize, the volume. We can keep it the same because within the instrument, it already does a swell. So let's listen to it. Now I got a synth instrument from UVI. We're not going to create a completely different melody. We're just going to follow some of the stuff that's already there. Again. And we're just going to follow it with a different rhythm. Let's see how it sounds. Now I got these mallets from Contact. I'm just going to layer these over that last melody that we already did. Now I'm going to hit this with a little bit of EQ. I'm going to do a high pass filter to take out some of the low. And we're doing that to make room for the 808. This I'm going to boost the highs on it. I'm gonna hit these bells with an RC20 effect to see how it sounds. Something custom. Let's just isolate them and see how it sounds. So now we're moving on to the 808. We're gonna follow the root note, of course. Those are gonna be the main two spots that we put them in. Now, of course, we're gonna go up an octave, and let's listen to how that sounds by itself now. I'm gonna hike these notes up. We're gonna do what I like to call the little Uzi Vert pattern because I heard Molly Raw use this, a lot on Uzi's first tape. So I'm gonna do a little bit of variation. We got a good 808. Hit it with a basic hi-hat. As far as Pooh Shiesty type beats, they don't really have the most complex hi-hat lines in most cases. So I'm just gonna listen to this, see how it sounds, and then make a little bit of variation. Now the thing about the chops, I'm not gonna do them on the off beats. I'm only gonna do them on the on beats. Let's put a kick over the 808. This is the Mello Dee all-purpose kick. Now with the kick, I laid out the kick, but if you listen to it, the kick is hitting at times when the 808 isn't hitting, and sometimes when the 808 is hitting, I just let the 808 hit by itself. But the two spots that I always hit the 808 in are this spot right here and this spot right here, where if you look, the bass line is going. So I let those hit every time. Let's listen. I'm gonna put a little chop right there. I'm gonna swell the kick chop. Now I also have from the combustion kit the snare Wildfire. You want a snare that sounds like that, a hard trap snare. We're gonna put it right there. We're gonna hike it up. I'll throw the glizzy gate open hat on there. That I'm gonna put a delay on it. It's gonna be a 8-step delay, but I want it to be kind of loud. So after that, I'm gonna put the mix on the beat after I arrange it. Be sure to get the free scale helpers if you need any help with scales and things like that. If you don't know how to make them yourselves and move by them, It'll help you out with making your beats. Also, I have a sample pack that I just released, the Yasuke sample pack. Check that out. Got more stuff coming soon. I got more melody tutorials, more mixing related tutorials and things like that. But be sure to subscribe to stay tuned in and everything. Click the notification bell, all of that, so that you don't miss any of the new tutorials, because I'm really trying to help you elevate your game as far as beats and stuff like that. But outside of that, I'll see y'all another day, somehow, some way. I'm out.